coming to you live from Los Angeles. I hope you're all doing great out there. And today, I wanted to bring you a video since a couple days. I knew I hadn't made a video, so I knew I wanted to get one in and do a live stream with you guys. And it's not going to be a crypto video, guys, but if you actually go back and look at the very last crypto video, one of the low cap gems was UBXT that I mentioned that was going to go up, in my opinion. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I just want to make a quick update and say that that one actually went up in price, and it's at 4 cents right now, a little over 4 cents. So it's at a new all-time high. So I just wanted to quickly mention that. And with that said, um, let's jump right into the Brunson and Holland fight after an epic UFC 259, which was an amazing event. That card, I mean, had a bunch of surprises, but I mean, you know, we saw the Edwards and Muhammad Bilal situation too after the UFC 259 fight card. So it looks like accidents are continuing to happen more often, since one starts to happen. So we'll see what happens now during the fight night that's going to be between Brunson and Kevin Holland. So, um, I mean, UFC 259 was fun. It was truly an amazing fight card, especially with Jan getting the victory over Israel Adesanya, giving Adesanya the first loss of his career, at least in the UFC. And then we had the Edwards and the Muhammad fight, and we all know how that ended up with the eye poke. So it looks like now the refs aren't really, doing a disqualification. They're just calling it a no contest, and I think that's what have happened. That's what should have happened with the Petrian fight, but obviously, it didn't happen that way. So, man, we'll have to see what happens in these next couple fights because they really got to get that glove situation figured out because, I mean, someone can lose their eye. And GSP actually came out with a statement, expressing his opinion about the gloves that the UFC is using. And I just want to say that I absolutely agree with him. I think the UFC should make a custom designed glove that should accommodate everybody and all forms of mixed martial arts arts. So actually, I think that the UFC needs to make a change as soon as possible before someone loses their eye because there have been some bad eye pokes, man, and we have one fighter that has lost their eye, and that was Michael Bisping, but that was entirely because of another situation when he fought Vitor Belfort back in the day. But um, you know, fighters aren't meant to get hurt there. Everybody's there to make money, so um, you know, nobody should receive permanent damage. And they should be taken care of. So, the glove should also be, changed so that, these accidents don't happen. And when GSP did mention that they should actually make it where you have to apply pressure to open your hand while wearing the glove, I absolutely agree with and is true because, um, just to be able to open your fingers like that, in a fight, um, you know, is a bit scary considering the eye is a very, um, it's a very, what do you call it? Um, it's a very, you know, easily damageable piece of the human organism that can, be hit, very easily, especially in the sports of MMA, right? So, let me go ahead and give you guys my opinion as to who I believe is going to be winning between Brunson and Kevin Holland because Kevin Holland is very good, and Derek Brunson is again the underdog, and Kevin Holland is the favorite, and Kevin Holland is indeed a great fighter. I mean, this guy talks, but he backs it up. But let me tell you guys something. If Derek Brunson is gonna come out the way he did against Edmund Shabazian, let me tell you, he's gonna give Kevin Holland a run for his money. And Derek Brunson has fought a lot of tough people, and Derek Brunson has the very absolute capacity to put Kevin Holland on the ground and get to his ground and pound like he did against Edmund Shabazian, with those elbows that he threw, damaging Edmund Shabazian, especially in the second round. Because let me tell you, that Edmund Shabazian and Derek Brunson fight was a very, very good fight. That thing was actually a war. So those two guys were actually going at it throughout the entirety, of their fight. And Derek Brunson got the better of him in the third round. And just to quickly say, if Derek Brunson does come out like that, I think Kevin Holland is going to be fighting his toughest fight. So I don't really know what the betting odds are, but let's go ahead and check that really quickly. So, oh man, these things are always really weird and tricky. But you gotta always go with the fighter that's gonna win, and not really look at the odds, because if you look at the odds, sometimes you can be easily convinced uh, you know, just because you can easily uh be a little emotional about how a certain fight is in terms of its odds, and bet for the underdog, even though that the underdog isn't going to win the fight. So between Kevin Holland and Derek Brunson is plus 145, and Kevin Holland is minus 175. And so what that actually means is, if you put $100 on Derek Brunson, you'll win 145. So you'll get $245 back as a total. But for Kevin Holland, since he's a minus 175, you would have to put 175 to get $100 back. So anytime it's the underdog that you're gonna bet, it's always the minus amount that you're gonna be placing in order to win $100. Now, when it's the other way around, and it's the underdog, you always put $100 to win whatever the underdog amount is. So yeah, so Brunson at at plus 145, and Holland at minus 175. So those are the betting odds for that. It's certainly a lot closer now that we saw Brunson compete against Edmund Shabazian, because Brunson was like he was like a plus 300 in that Edmund Shabazian fight, and that was huge, and Derek Brunson definitely came out and put on a show. And Kevin, he gave Edmund Shabazian the run for his money, and certainly took it because he won that fight. So this Saturday, March 20th, 7 p.m. On ESPN at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, is when the main event is going to. I mean, is when the main card is going to start, and then there's a good amount of other good fights too on this entire day. Looks like there's some new names that are going to be fighting, which I really always like, considering they always give good competition, and is always really fun to see. And the sport is made of new names. It's the sport of mixed martial arts is always a revolving door, and there's a lot of factors, that go into who generally wins the actual fights, right? So there's a lot of preparation and techniques that are taken into consideration when these guys go out there and perform. So and for those people that are out there making bets, you have to take all of those factors into consideration whenever choosing which fighter you think is going to win. So just to quickly give my opinion again, yeah, I got Brunson winning this fight, actually, because I think Kevin Holland is going to be fighting his toughest fight yet, and I think he's a little too confident. I think he's actually cocky, so I think he's going into this fight overlooking Derek Brunson, which I believe is a big mistake considering Derek Brunson has gotten a lot better in his last previous fights, and I think he's gonna come and put on a show, and Kevin Holland is really good himself. He's 21-5. And I think Derek Brunson is actually going to be able to put Kevin Holland in a position where Kevin Holland is going to have to go back and, put himself back on the drawing board and see if, how he's going to be able to come back. Because, yes, I am saying that Kevin Holland is going to lose this fight, and we'll see what happens. But it can go either way, and I'm not saying that Kevin Holland can't beat Derek Brunson, but if Derek Brunson is going to be coming out the way he did during the Edmund Shabazian fight and his last previous as well, then let me tell you, man, this guy is going to be really, really good. And looking at Kevin Holland's record, he's lost 3 by decision. He's got 11 wins by knockout, so this guy is an absolute knockout artist. He hasn't been knocked out before. But looking at Derek Brunson's resume too. This guy is actually a ground and pound type of fighter that's just gonna come on to you and stick on you like glue and try to put you against the fence, which I think is actually a very bad matchup for what do you call it, for Kevin Holland, because we saw that Derek Brunson was able to take a beating during the Edmund Shabazian fight, because let me tell you, Edmund Shabazian hits really hard, and I don't think Kevin Holland hits harder than Edmund Shabazian, even though Kevin Holland himself is a knockout artist. But if you go back and watch that Edmund Shabazian fight, then you'll come to see that, hey, this guy, this guy can take some shots. So, and yeah, I mean, Derek Brunson is on a 3-fight win streak right now. So, when you realistically consider who he lost to, I mean, he lost to Adesanya and he lost to Ronaldo Souza, and other than that, he was beating everybody else. So, Derek Brunson is gonna, come out and put on a show, in my opinion, and he's lost 2 times by decision. I mean, this guy can, definitely, finish his opponents too. He's got 3 wins by submission. Um, so we'll have to see how it goes. Kevin Holland, is absolutely beatable, but he's absolutely very tough too. So, I just don't think that Kevin Holland has really fought someone that's been just as good as Derek Brunson, especially the way Brunson has, been able to put on the pressure that he has been, with his last previous fights. Because, let me tell you, I actually placed a bet on Edmund Shabazian winning, because I've actually seen Derek Brunson actually fight what's his face, the Armenian fighter, and I think his name was, what do you call it, man? Musasi. So if you guys actually remember the Musasi fight between Brunson, then you know that uh, you know, Brunson didn't do well against him, but I mean, that was Musasi. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, um. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be an epic fight, guys. It can go either way. I think it's not. I think it's definitely not gonna go to decision, and I think they're both gonna try to tear each other's head off. So, I think Kevin Holland isn't really gonna like the type of fight that Derek Brunson is gonna be bringing. So, I got Derek Brunson winning this fight, and I do intend to place $100 bet to hopefully win. What is it? 175. Yeah, so, or no, 145. So yeah. Yeah, now the betting odds are a lot closer now. Since the Edmund Shabazian fight. Since Derek Brunson, put on a great show. That was an epic fight, all in all. And Derek Brunson was actually, very close to going to sleep too in that fight. So, I think if Edmund pushed it a bit, he would have got the decision. He would have got the knockout or TKO victory. But Yeah, Brunson was definitely able to get the better of him that night. But let me tell you, man, Edmund Shabazian is still a kid. So that's all I got for this time around, guys. Drop those opinions, subscribe to my channel, and this is a hybrid channel, where I talk about fights and the sports of mixed martial arts, and finance, and ideas and opinions as to how in my opinion, at least, as to how we can better ourselves financially, and have a healthy outlook on our financial goals. But yeah, guys, that's all I got. Drop those opinions, like the video, subscribe, and